Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of a new Trekkie. My 5-year mission to search out Star Trek media, to seek out our fans and merchandise, to boldly go where no fan has gone before.
Greetings and salutations, how's everybody doing? So today we're looking at 3 episodes of Star Trek Enterprise. Extinction, Rajiin, and Exile. Let's look at Extinction first. Well, what happened in this episode? Well, in this episode, while investigating a planet visited by the Xandi, several crew members, including Archer, become infected with a virus that mutates them into another species. While they develop a cure, Enterprise crews must prevent an alien race from exterminating the mutated crew members. This episode was actually directed by LeVar Burton. Honestly, I gotta say, the makeup for the alien race at this episode is honestly pretty good. I have to say that the idea of Archer and others turning into a alien race and in a way having like memories and basically taking on that like wild kind of animalistic nature, I guess, of these race, since like apparently they had gone extinct, it's honestly a pretty cool idea, and it gives like say the crew, like especially in this case Reed, Archer, and trying to think Sato, it gives them like a little bit of an opportunity to do like a different ways, like a body movement with the characters. I do have to say that the idea of having like a basically like exterminators on a planet that like say, oh, this person is infected, burn them. Because that's apparently what they do. They say, uh-oh, this person is sick, burn them.
Hey, Homer, you're missing out on some fun!
And I gotta say, the moment, like, say when Archer is having the dream and he sees the planet when it used to be, and then he goes back and say, it's still there, and all that. But it's not anymore, it's not how it used to be. Honestly, I gotta say that, Burton, he did a good job directing this episode. Especially, like, say, the parts where, Archer is just, like, having, like, when he's the alien, and he's just trying to, like, with all of his hearts of hearts, and, like, say, no, it's okay. The planet is still good. It's still great. I mean, overall, this episode was, honestly, pretty good. Let's look at the next episode. Episode Rajiin. Well, what happened in this episode? Well, basically, this episode featured, in this episode, Archer and the crew visit an unknown alien bazaar seeking a formula to help protect the ship against the anomalies in the expanse. The crew bring aboard a former slave called Rajiin, whose motivations are not what the crew really believe they are. Basically, in a way, like, she is a spy for the Xandi, and I gotta say, the Xandi race in this episode, I didn't know, I didn't realize, like, say, there's different, like, races of them, like, say, there's, like, fish versions of them, then there is a bug version of them that looks like, say, the villain that was from Galaxy Quest.
What?
And let me repeat, like, say, the Xandi that are arachnic looking, they look like, say, the villain from Galaxy Quest.
What?
gotta say, like, the main plot point of this episode, which is of the Rajiin, however you pronounce her name, she basically is, in a way, I'd say, basically, she seduces others to basically get information, so that way she can give the information back to the Xandi.
Stop. Let go.
Xandi? Whatever. I gotta say, like, I mean, the episode is fairly intriguing of an idea. I think she's part, like, in a way, like, Woman of the Night meets almost a succubus or something like that. It's interesting, like, say, like, I don't really know in Trek if that was ever done much. Like a woman that's basically just trying to, a spy, who's also just trying to get information out of the crew.
There's no need to bother the captain.
I have my orders.
So do I.
But overall, not a bad episode. What happened in this episode? Well, in this episode, while investigating the Delphic expansion for a Xandi super weapon, the Enterprise responds to a distress call of a Vulcan ship. And what happens is, basically, in this episode, the Vulcans, like, you know, raise, it seems like, say, part of them have gone towards more of a aggressive kind of vibes. Heck, even, T-Pol, she has her moment of being really aggressive, attacking the crew, and at the same time, like, saying, these are my people, and attacking others. I mean, the acting from this episode was honestly pretty good, but at the same time, I'm also gonna say, as an episode that was, like, you know, more about, like, say, the Vulcan race, of, like, say, hey, we were once violent, and then here's them being violent, I'm gonna be honest and say that, while the acting was okay, alright, at the same time, I'm bored. And I shouldn't really be bored when watching Enterprise, because sometimes Enterprise had a lot of good episodes. But, yeah, like, say, like, there's, like, say, one group on the ship that are basically just, like, saying, hey, Vulcans are bad, and then, at a certain point, T-Pol basically has a bit, at the end of the episode, T-Pol has a bad dream, and thinks, she's about to be attacked, when actually she is basically just having a bad dream. And so basically she has this nightmare at the end of the episode. I mean, overall, the first two episodes that I just talked about were pretty good. This one is alright, I guess. It's not great. It's not the greatest, but it's alright. The acting is good for it. Also good.